Whilst developing in the womb, the mother transfers millions of memory immune cells to the child. These immune cells are primed to recognise any pathogen encountered by our ancestors. This we refer to as the innate immune system. Once born, the child's immune system now has to cope for itself. Although capable of producing immune cells, they require activating with specific amino acids and proteins that are found in the mother's colostrum. The protein found in colostrum, which is responsible for immune support, is called vitamin D transport protein. It is a multifaceted protein which, as the name suggests, transports vitamin D to all the cells in our body. It also transports fatty acids required for cellular health, and the third domain collects cell debris as it travels through the body. At around 6 months, the child will now be able to support their own immune system as they create vitamin D transport protein internally. We can view immune functionality by observing living blood using dark field microscopy. In this video, we observe living blood. Moving left to right, we see our red blood cells and the larger immune cells, which appear stationary. The space between the cells is referred to as our plasma, into which inactive immune cells and vitamin D transport protein are released. In this video, we are zoomed in 1000 times magnification, and we can see a fully active immune cell at work. What it is doing is checking the surface of every red blood cell for proteins that will indicate that the cell is infected with a pathogen or virus. As you can see, the immune cell has extended its arms, also known as pseudopods, which allows it to analyse multiple cells at the same time. Every one of us falls ill in our lifetime. During these times, we become immune suppressed as the pathogen attempts to replicate within its host. In this video, we can see the results of a suppressed immune system. Firstly, you will notice that the smooth round edges of the red blood cells are now burred. We can also observe bacterial life forms emerging from the red blood cells. These pathogens enter our cells where they feed from the nutrients and oxygens, usually carried by the red blood cells. Once the resources in that particular cell are exhausted, the bacteria will attempt to find a new host. Pathogens produce an enzyme called Nagalase that destroys vitamin D transport protein before it can activate our immune cells, which results in immune suppression. Now pathogens can multiply and grow unchecked within the body. Until the discovery of Nagalase, scientists did not fully understand how the pathogens were able to suppress the immune system. We tasked a team of scientists to study the feasibility of preventing Nagalase destroying vitamin D transport protein. If successful, then it could be possible to activate immune cells under any circumstances. It is deemed unethical to extract the protein from human colostrum. Therefore, we turn to nature, and specifically organic, grass-fed, free-range Swiss alpine bovines for our source of colostrum. We took the colostrum to our laboratory, and by using state-of-the-art technology, we were able to look for, extract, and purify vitamin D transport protein. Initial examination showed bovine vitamin D transport protein to be 87% bioidentical to vitamin D transport protein found in the human body. One final test we undertake in our laboratory is to add vitamin D transport protein to inactive immune cells to test for activation and viability. To pass this test, we must observe immune activation within 24 hours. As the protein is extracted from bovine sources, we applied for food supplement registration, which was approved in 2015. The vitamin D transport protein is suspended in sterile saline solution with no additives or preservatives. It can be taken sublingually, and dosing depends on the individual. In the centre of this picture, you will see an immune cell called a macrophage. To the left of the macrophage, you can view a red blood cell broken in half. This serves no purpose in the body, so therefore it must be eliminated. The macrophage engulfs the broken cell and uses oxidative bursts to break this down into proteins and amino acids. These are the basic building blocks of life and are then used to build and repair new cells. In this video, we can observe two active immune cells referred to as lymphocytes, or natural killer cells. Similar to the immune cells we have seen before, they are checking for infected red blood cells or any other type of defective cell. When these immune cells detect infected cells, they instantly shoot an oxidative burst into the cell that destroys it immediately. They do not engulf or recycle their victims. They are simply there to destroy pathogens and protect you. Please note, we are not claiming that vitamin D transport protein cures any disease. It is simply a natural protein containing the essential amino acids required by our immune cells to remain healthy and adapt to emerging pathogens.